shaky. Don't worry, guys. I'll put you down. All right, let's put you mounted somewhere nice and even. There we go. Oh, I don't like that. All right, we're figuring out where we can put you guys. Even here. Do you want to like fold this up? Please and thank you. So I can set it down nice and even. Thank you. There. Mounted. Took 1 minute. Got grapes and strawberries. So we're at the Hole in the Rock in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. This is actually, fun fact, the first we came to when we moved to Arizona about a month and a half ago. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Right, baby?
Yeah.
Where's
It's
Ahab
nice.
at?
I don't know. Somewhere.
What you doing down there, buddy? Just kind of enjoying it. Just kind of enjoying the sun. Chilling out there.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to find a good picture for Instagram.
Well, welcome to the live stream. We haven't actually made videos in a while because we haven't been able to afford Adobe Premiere. But now that we saved up some money, it's like $30 a month for Adobe Premiere. We saved up some money. We're going to get that now today, and tomorrow we should have some new video coming up and a regular upload schedule kind of getting back to normal then, because I'll go back to editing like 5 or 6 videos. So we're good for a while. You guys can have some good content that I've been filming for a while now, and MJ's been filming.
A little bit.
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. It's good to just get on live and kind of just hang out for a little bit, as opposed to like not uploading or doing anything at all and kind of just having you guys wait around hoping that we're gonna upload. Yes. Trying to get some people into the live stream. We can get a little chat going. We'll probably live stream for about an hour today instead of 30 minutes because it's a little bit more last minute. We want more people to come into the chat. And we're about spending our last hour here anyway at the Hole in the Rock before we go find our boondocking place for the night. Baby, what are some good topics we can bring up for the live stream? I'm thinking like some good questions that we had that we can answer for people when we were getting into a van and no one kind of answered for us. So like, what are some things? I'm trying to think.
Well, boondocking itself, like, that's one of the big things I was always worried about. Like, where are we going to sleep? Where are we going to sleep? Where are we going to sleep? I don't want to get a knock on the door from police and all that. But, you know, ever since we kind of lost our permanent parking spot, it really hasn't been that bad. It hasn't been what I thought it would be. It's more just being smart in where are you going to just blend in.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be necessarily something crazy out of the ordinary. Like Van City Van Life was just talking about the other day that to boondock, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Don't overthink it, because that's the truth. You could park in any parking spot overnight as long as it's not posted that you can't park there. So,
and even if it is, sometimes you can get away with it.
If you're under 12 hours, if you're there under 12 hours, we've noticed that, like, even if it is posted, you can usually get away without them knowing that you were there overnight if you can stay kind of stealth, you know? It's all about stealth camping, too. Like, we have a conversion van, and I know a lot of people that do the whole van life thing, they have a cargo van or a Mercedes Sprinter van, so there's, like, you have a lot less windows, it's a lot less noticeable, less conspicuous. Everybody kind of you blend in with everywhere you go. And with this van, it's a little bit different. You stand out. It looks almost like a camper everywhere you go, and you can't really change that. We covered up the windows, 2 of the 3 giant windows we covered up, and
which, I mean, we're kind of regretting a little bit. We missed the windows.
Well, one window.
Yeah.
We don't want both of them back because we think that would be too much light. and too much difficulty trying to cover it up, because every window we have to be able to cover it up at night, so that way you can't see light in.
Mm-hmm. And right now, we tried making homemade covers, and you know, they're not bad, but
These ones are a little bit better than our first ones, because these are our 2.0 trial, the blue ones, but these black ones here are our first trial ones, and they've just shown to be some raggedy piece designs here. Not very good for actual use. What's going on out there? But they kind of just like sag down now. They need more truss from the center. I don't recommend this method unless this is like your only option, like it was for us, because we were on a cheap budget. We just wanted to get on the road fast and not have people be able to see us.
Yeah.
Welcome to the live stream, new person. I would say that, like, I know they make like really cool magnet ones that would be able to magnet reflectance that you can stick to the metal frame on the outer like border of your window. Those would be cool, and I would like to get those eventually. But honestly, our van is so far from done. Like, we want to change so much. We want to change this window. We want to put a cabinet in it. We want to put a new mattress in it. We want to do the entire new design of the mattress. It's a lot that we want to do for sure. Actually, let's see. Well, you can...
Otherwise, other things we've kind of come up to it with van lifing is food. We don't have power. We don't have a source of electricity. So our options are either dry storage food or an ice cooler. And that's really kind of not the best option. Ice is expensive. We pay like $2 for a bag of ice. And being in Arizona, it melts pretty quickly. So what we tend to do is buy what we're going to want for that day or just that meal immediately, and that way we use it right away. Things that we don't use right away, like fruits, we want to keep during the day.
Fruits.
But sometimes it's kind of hard to use all of them up at once because you eat so much and you get full. How else can you use it? We really like repurposing everything, so we'll put them in our PB&Js.
Let's see.
Yeah, we
just got a comment here. All right, says, yo, do you guys have power? And it's from Nick. Nick, we do not have power currently. This is actually kind of a cool thing that we just got that kind of hasn't been talked about on our channel yet. We have the ambition to buy something called the Renergy solar kit, and Renergy is known to be like one of the higher end brands of solar, but it's a little bit more expensive, and we want to save up for it. It's about $1,000 or $1,100 for the 300 watt kit that we want with the batteries that we'll need, and that's definitely in our near future. But for now, we've actually been doing a lot of research on like small generators or just power bank boxes that you can take around, like the Jackery, and that was the brand we ended up deciding on, is the Jackery 240. We just ended up picking up.
Should be getting it next week, so
that's going to be a game changer. Cause,
keep up with us if you want to know how that goes.
Right. We went from having like no power. We only use the power while we drive the van to charge our phones. We don't even leave like phone chargers plugged in at night while we go to sleep, because we've had our van battery die and be in that kind of situation where you feel like you're going to be trapped. And now with this 240, we'll be able to charge our phones and our laptops. Nothing crazy, like you can't run a fridge off of it, or you can't be running like a bunch of crazy high-end stuff that we want to, like our TV, our shore power lights that run out. That we're gonna wait for our solar, but we do have a lot of things that are just waiting for power, and we just need to get the power. Good question though. I actually really enjoyed answering that question. Good job.
Make it feel like school, why don't you?
Well, it's pretty awesome when people actually ask questions that like pertain to van life. Like, I've had just so many questions from randos that just come up and ask the most weird things, and you just get thrown off and you're like, I don't even know how to answer that.
Yeah.
That's another thing actually though. Since living in this van, we've gotten to meet a lot of people that just come up to you.
That's what I was
and
just kind of thinking.
What is this? That's the old one. Where's Jake now though? Alright, some of my friends are still in Arizona, and we're trying to figure out some kinks of hanging out with them before they fly back to Wisconsin tomorrow. So that's what I was checking.
Nick, I've heard a lot of good things about the Jackery. Otherwise, yeah, Renergy is a competitor. Sorry.
Our chat's grouping up. There we go.
Competitor, but equally good. Safe travels. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. And the Jackery, honestly, I don't know if it would be the best because we haven't had it. We haven't had a review on it yet. But hopefully that's what watching our videos will kind of help you with. You won't have to spend the money if, you know, people give it really horrible reviews. Like, we're going to be honest about it. I'm never going to buy anything that's not going to do me well. He's got to say hi to the live stream. But I think that there's a lot of other brands you could go with that doesn't have to be Jackery. I just really like the Jackery brand and kind of what they represent. So that's why we went with them finally. But I don't know if it's going to be a good product. And I don't want to recommend it if it sucks. And everyone will know if it sucks, if it's from us. Because it's going to be our main power source for a while. We're going to know how we'll put it to the test. We're going to plug in everything. We're even going to try to run our TV off of it one night just to see how many watts our TV is pulling. It's going to be kind of interesting to see how that change our van life day to day. We honestly get the question of our bathroom all the time, like what we're going to do to upgrade our bathroom, because we use like a 5-gallon bucket when we're off the grid. And honestly, I have no idea what we would do for a secondary option.
I don't either. We don't really have the space for anything else. And no matter what, it's going to be a lot. We'd probably have to end up redesigning the entire van.
Yeah, and we want to do, like, if we stick on the road for over a year and we end up keeping this van, we want to add a topper and do all the crazy, like, 9-yard things that everyone wants to do with their vans. But if we don't know if we're going to like it for a long period of time, and we don't necessarily know if this is the van that we want to make ours, you know, like, we want to stick all of our money into it and hope that it turns out to be as amazing as a brand new Sprinter van for $20,000, you know, because that's really what we'd be spending into this once we stick that kind of money into it. Trying to get a topper and all that. Slowly but surely, everyone's leaving the hole in the rock. It's starting to get later at night, and slowly that's what happens. We'll be the last ones in the parking lot, and then we'll like, oh, we gotta leave.
Since Ahab is here, we get a lot of questions about having a cat in the van with us. You know, a lot of people have their dogs, and it's pretty easy to have your dog because you just need to worry about him or her and their food and water because they can go to the bathroom outside. Cats are, you know, a little different. They have got a kitty litter, food, water. You know, they're very in the way sometimes.
Oh yeah, he's in the way all the time, but he likes being in the way.
Yeah, but right now we do kind of a little bit of a van shuffle when we're just sitting around. We have the kitty litter and his food and water up in the cockpit, kind of closed off. He has his own space up there when we're not traveling around. Obviously, when we're traveling, we have it pretty much closed up. It doesn't go spilling everywhere.
I'm trying to hold this from the pocket socket, and all it does is make it extremely shaky. So I'm not gonna do that. Yeah.
Lots of people ask van lifers about jobs and what they do for money. Yeah.
Normal jobs, like we lace up our boots and go to work every day, and it is not exactly always the best, but it's kind of what we have to do to keep getting money to keep traveling.
Yeah. I mean, I like it and I don't like it. Job jumping from job to job.
Yeah.
Because on the one hand, it's nice. You meet a lot of different people. You get to experience a lot of different things. But on the other hand, you know, you find a job and you're like, oh, I really like this, but it's not a place where you want to stay. You still want to keep on moving. You want to travel. So you have to leave them. And your resume just starts to be a bunch of small little jobs. And people don't really like that.
Yeah. But it's a part of the adventure. And it's part of the nomad life that we signed up for. I've been jumping jobs for a lot longer than Michelle has. But I definitely think that once we find the jobs that we're going to stay at forever, then we'll know. And that's when we'll just, all right, time to stay here. But so far, it's just been kind of just your normal everyday jobs. We don't have anything special. We just work every day and save our money to go take these trips and buy camera equipment and buy editing softwares and things like that to continue our film journey and adventuring. But I would honestly, if we could change one thing about living on the road full time, I would say that it would be digital nomads. Like, honestly, I would love to do YouTube full time. I would love to create content every single day for you guys. That would just be my full time job.
It would be honestly the best thing ever to just be able to decide, hey, today I want to go here.
And we're going to go shoot a bunch of videos at this waterfall today. It's like 2 hours away, but that's okay because we have the whole day to make sure that we film this, and then we'll edit it that night, and it would be really cool. And a lot of money has gone into these videos to create that, so hopefully someday that turns around to benefit us.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, we have plan B, which is the job jumping, and we really don't like it, but it gets the job done because we're still on the road, we're still traveling. And after Arizona now, we are planning to either go to California or Colorado, depending on our budget. Maybe Texas, because she's never been to Texas, and I've been to Texas a lot of times. So maybe there. It depends. It kind of just depends on what our budget is when we're ready to leave. And with this weekend, we went up north in northern Arizona, and it was actually snowing. What's up?
Oh, yeah. Just kind of chilling at a hole in the rock, enjoying our days off. Yeah. Like he was saying, we actually got back today from our trip to
Forest Lake.
Forest Lake National Forest.
It was really cold. It was like 30 degrees, snow up there, and where we are in Phoenix, it's like 70 degrees and no snow, all desert, all sand. It's super nice. Like, we're in t-shirts out here, but where we just were, I went outside and my hands would freeze. So it's crazy that you could be in Arizona just 2 hours away.
Two completely different
climates. Yeah.
It was actually kind of sucked this weekend because we had gone up there to see. It was called the
Mongolian or Mogollon.
Mogollon?
Yeah, the Mogollon. Mogollon Rim is what it was called, and it was actually closed because of Corona or because of just crowding. I'm not entirely sure, but it was closed, and it was depressing as heck. Well, we still made the best of it. We still found a campsite, and we still camped. And we have another comment. It says, I love the hikes in Arizona. There are a lot of great hiking spots here.
Not too long ago, we went to this hike. It was Devil's Bridge.
Yep, Devil's Bridge in Sedona, Arizona.
Yep, that was beautiful. Sedona itself is beautiful. We kind of compared it to the Door County of Wisconsin. So if you haven't been to Wisconsin, make sure you've been to Arizona. If you like Sedona, you'll probably like Door County.
It's just a wealthier, more upkept town, and it's more made for tourists. Yeah. So everything there is more tourist vibe. Like, you'll have pizzerias that are a little bit more expensive, or rentals for certain things. Like at Door County, you can rent boats and things like that, or jet skis. And in Arizona, obviously, there's less water, so you can rent things like four-wheelers or side-by-sides.
But haven't done. Okay, Devil's Bridge.
Devil's Bridge was actually really cool. I definitely recommend it if you ever do go back to Sedona. It was free, which is always a major thing for us because we try to save the most amount of money we can when we're going on our trips. But
and it's a nice hike, like up a mountain. You get a really good workout.
And it's like,
always good.
I think 3.6 miles round trip. So all the way up to Devil's Bridge and back is almost 4 miles. So if you like long hikes and you think that your legs can handle that kind of incline, because it is not the most nicest path, but it's pretty groomed. I just say, like, if you're older, maybe you wouldn't like it as much, but that's okay because they do allow you to drive your vehicle, if you have a 4x4 vehicle or an ATV, a majority of the path up to Devil's Bridge, and then you can get out and walk maybe a mile then instead of the 2 miles or 2.5. So a little easier on the legs and things like that. There's always options. You can have somebody piggyback ride you all the way up there and pay them in high fives. That's the way to go. So far, van life dwellers here, because we're snowbirds, we're only living in Arizona for the winter time because it's warmer here than it is in our original state. We have run into a few vanners here and there, but I haven't run into as many vanners as I've really wanted to. So if you guys are actually van lifers or future van lifers and know the area of Arizona, know some really good spots for meetups and things like that, let us know in the comments below, because that would be super helpful. Well, we're always trying to check out like new spots and things like that.
Or more hiking trails. We love having adventures. We'd love to, you know, take more videos and help share and let you guys see these really cool places as well. So maybe we can help you help you plan your next trip. There we go.
And we'll try to be as honest as possible with like prices and costs as far as like food and everything that we got to be there, because
we're pretty cheap. So
we're cheap. We try to live.
$40 for a meal is to us is
expensive.
Kind of expensive, yeah.
Because we can have 2 people eat for $20. So we try to spend the least amount. Honestly, our majority of our finances go to still food. It's still food that costs us the most to do. It's to eat. But we go out to eat a majority of the time. And when we go out to eat, we don't exactly pick the most crappy, cheap restaurants. We pick the higher end.
We get
not super fancy,
food.
but like not fast food either. Yeah. Like I wouldn't say like Cheesecake Factory or Melting Pot good. No, we don't go that good. But maybe like Olive Garden or Applebee's, like things like that. There's just chain restaurants that tend to be $30 here, $20 there, $35 there, and it just kind of adds up over the course of the month, and you're realizing like, damn, I spent $600 on freaking food, and I don't remember what I ate 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So
in reality, what you want to do is you want to be able to cook in your van, but the problem with that is having a fridge. It gets kind of annoying to have to go into the store 3 times a day to get something for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and
that's something that's actually a really good point.
It's just so much work.
Like van lifers always glamorize it. They're like, oh yeah, you could just go to the store every single day. It's not that bad because you live in town. But you're right. When you don't have a fridge, you have to go to the store 3 times a day. And who wants to go to the store even twice a day? 3 times a day? Now you're thinking, dang, man, I might as well just grab a smock and start working at Walmart. I'm in here so much. That's what I've been thinking, especially since it's job jumping. Yo, hire me, Walmart. What's up? Camp Wally.
Yeah.
What else? What other good topics? Cooking in the van. I'd say another thing that we haven't done so much that we thought we would when we moved into the van is cook outside. We thought we'd cook outside like all the time.
Yeah.
But we haven't cooked outside at all.
It's really hard because you don't want to do that in the Walmart parking lot. You're supposed to be stealth camping. They're supposed to know that you're not actually camping there. So
if it's not in Walmart and we're out in the middle of nowhere, though, even then when we don't cook outside, because there's a lot of bugs. There's a lot of like things that are just trying to get my food too, and I'm like, man, I could just cook inside, you know, and it is a little bit more cramped in here, and it would be nicer to just have the table outside and sit out there. But sometimes you don't want bugs in your food. Like, it's camping, but you're trying to live camping all the time, and sometimes you don't want it to be camping. You know, you want it to feel like you're home.
I think a really good option to have if you wanted to camp or cook outside more, and you had the option to cook outside more, is do something kind of like Van City Van Life has, which it's...
If you guys don't watch Van City Van Life on YouTube, go check it out.
He's a great resource. Better, obviously, way better than us. He's been doing it for like 3 years. So he knows a lot of stuff. But what he has is this rollout storage unit that, I don't know, it's probably only like 6-8 inches deep, but he's able to roll it out. It's a table, it's storage. He can put it as his cooking countertop. There's all these really great useful options for it, and it's really easy to put back away.
And that's what we've run into with this too. The box on our back, we have a giant mounted box for storage, as if it kind of replaces our trunk, because we're not able to have a trunk when we live in the van, because all of our full-time things are in the van. And if you guys haven't actually seen our van, I guess I'll give you guys a little phone tour. All right. Welcome to Knee Life. We got our bed here, our little cabinets here with our condiments and things, and then this is our door for our cockpit close off. But when you get over here, we have our 2-burner stove. We just bought this O2 Cool fan. It takes 60 batteries and runs off grid, but man, those rain so fast and they're so expensive. Do not buy a batterized fan. van life tip, unless it's like a AA and it's super inexpensive to keep recharging. But this was not, and not a very good outlet. But coming over to the wall, this is actually like our favorite wall, or at least mine, because it has the most stuff on it. It kind of just looks the best. It has all of our Arizona little memorabilia, my hats, things that just hung up High Street, my picture of me and my little brother in Wisconsin. Kind of just my favorite wall to stare at. Which is your favorite wall, the tapestry?
Yeah.
You like the tap?
I do.
The tap does look pretty nice there, especially at night when it's all lit up. Pretty cozy in here. That's our little van tour. The cockpit's never even worth showing. It's just a van. We try to keep that as original as possible, and that's where Ahab's litter and things are, so try not to show that too much. I'm trying to think of what good meals so far that we've had with our... oh, actually, this is a good topic to talk about. I just recently bought something that is pretty intense for the van, and I have yet to really use it. If you guys are watching this post after we're done filming, and you guys still want to comment this question that I'm about to ask, what is some tips or good recipes to cook on a, what is this called? Cast iron cooking pan. Because we just bought this, and I've used it once so far. I already kind of got stuff stuck to it, and I got to figure out how to get that off. Probably just a little metal brush. But I've watched a lot of videos on how to cook with this, and kind of learn how to cook with it, and I learned a lot of facts about it, being the oldest cookware piece that has ever been made, probably one of the longest lasting pieces that will ever last you in your kitchen. There's a lot of like little fun facts about cast iron that you guys should probably look up if you guys are interested. But I want to learn how to cook really bad, and I figured cooking with cast iron would give me a way to cook on something that's traditional, brings me back to the pioneer days, which is what I really love about van life, and also learn how to cook, because I don't know how to cook at all, and I'd like to be able to cook something for you someday.
He likes to burn things to the pan.
Yeah, I do that on every single one of our pans. Every single time. It's unbelievable how much I can burn things. But a cast iron pan was a pretty good investment. We just got it, and we only used it once to try to make cookies, and it didn't turn out so well. I burnt them. But yeah,
We're trying.
yeah, we're getting there. It's the day-by-day process. Another thing I added to this van that I haven't really talked about too much is this little end table now. Got a nice little hinge end table that I made myself. Little contractor. Yeah, slowly but surely our van's coming along, but honestly we'd like to have it professionally built.
Something we've learned, a lesson we've learned in this van so far though, is you gotta take things day by day. You can't expect to know what's going to happen tomorrow, because your window might get broken and
your van might not start. You might not, your job might not call you back, and you might not have work. Like, there's just so many things that could go wrong on a day-to-day life in van life that, yes, man, sorry guys, I very much apologize for the shakiness of this. What was I saying?
Job might not call you back. You can't.
There's a lot of uncertainties, thank you. There's a lot of uncertainties with van life that I know that a lot of people glamorize van life and say that, like, if you get into it every day, you will wake up and it'll be an amazing view, and you'll have all these amazing things happen to you, and you'll have all these amazing life experiences to take with you after you're out of the van. Yeah. But the thing is, like,
80% of the time, our view is a Walmart parking lot.
Right. And it's not ripping on van life in any way, because
God, no.
I really love living van life, and I definitely suggest any of you to get a van, to get a bus, to even if you have your car or your truck, figure out how to live in that thing and go take it on an adventure, whether it be for a week, a year, a month, it doesn't matter. Go take that thing out, go have a fun life. You only get one, so go enjoy what you can see, especially being here in the United States. We get the ability to go for pretty much almost nothing and see a lot of things for free if you just take the time to do some research. But I know that a lot of people getting into van life think, like, we won't have rent, and we won't have this, and we won't have that. But you do gain, we poop in a bucket. We don't always have shore parking. We don't have power.
We don't have running water.
We do have running water, I guess.
We have pump water.
We have pump water.
Cold,
that's
running water. And it freezes, and we can't do anything.
Yeah, we don't have hot water or shower or anything like that. Like, we shower at a gym. Like, yes, it's a trade-off. You give a lot, but you get a lot in return. Like, we get to wake up every day and see things like the mountains we're looking at right now, or
we get out a lot more. I used to be a big homebody. I didn't like going outside. I liked being in my bed and reading a book. Well, now I still get to do that, but I get to see amazing mountains and trees and forests.
today she wanted to read a book, and we put the table on the roof. She went and laid on the roof and enjoyed the sun, read her book. And like, that's definitely the great part. I worked on my ukulele practicing because I'm trying to learn how to play the ukulele. And yeah, it's kind of just, there's downtime too. There's a lot of fun time that we get to do, kind of experience ourselves a little bit, find ourselves a little bit more than what we would have if we would have been in society's. This is your rent, this is your phone bill, this is your insurance, this is your loan payment for student loans or whatever it might be. Like, adulting is so intense, especially when you're this young. I don't want to grow up so fast that I didn't have the memories that I want to take with me forever. And I think that it's really cool that we're young and we get to go live in a van and travel around the United States and see all these things we get to see on a day-to-day basis, and it costs us almost nothing. You just have to be smart and give up a lot of the things you don't necessarily need and more or less want. I'm watching a lot of planes land right over there. It's pretty nice. We got 3 people in this live stream. What's going on, everyone? If you guys have any questions about van life or anything that we've been up to the past month and a half of living in Arizona, comment down below. Always looking for some good conversation starters. We've been on this live stream for about 30 minutes, and we're going for about an hour. So we have about 30 more minutes of the live stream. Just putting that out there. I found my motorcycle the other day. And I don't know if you guys knew, but I sold this bike. I actually had this real motorcycle in all black, and I sold it to build out this van. So I keep this toy in here to remind me of, you know, what I've sacrificed to build Rhonda here. And it keeps getting lost, which makes me laugh. Because what does that mean for Rhonda?
Let's see, what else is there to...
What kind of meals have we had in the van? When it comes to cooking, we've had chicken and mac and cheese.
We've had chicken and mac and cheese. We've had chicken and rice.
Pancakes.
Steaks. We've had steaks before.
Burgers.
Burgers.
Tacos.
Yeah, there's really a lot you can make with just water.
Yeah, and that's really what we try to strive for is just water. Because, like, we actually just ordered, this is another cool thing, we just ordered this oven. It's called the Coleman Collapsible Oven. Not a review, not a sponsor, just saying that's what we ordered, and I don't know if it's going to turn out good. And we're kind of excited for it because it allows us to make brownies, muffins, self-serve one-size pizzas, and things like that inside of our van, which will just bring a huge plus. Things that you guys might not think to be the biggest things are definitely the biggest for us because we don't have an oven at all. We don't have any kind of baked goods unless we buy it baked already, and you never get that warm, this is fresh out of the oven feel when it's spotting.
We can finally make a cookie skillet if we use our small little
skillet. Yeah, we
yep.
can put it in that oven. Yeah. Well, stay tuned. There's going to be some Betty Crocker type shit going on our channel here. There'll be some cooking with Amy over here. Wake up, America. Welcome to Vanners. We've been actually talking to some people about trying to get together with like an actual van meetup. And we don't know when it's going to happen, but we definitely think this year we're going to get it together, whether it be our own meetup that we're hosting or a meetup that we go to with everyone. It's just kind of just depends on what comes up first. But honestly, we want to get 10 or 15 vans together, have a giant party, have it just where everyone can kind of compare their vans and talk about their builds and their stories. Right, and like how they got to where they are and why they're living in their van and vehicles. It doesn't even necessarily just have to be vans. It can be any kind of vehicle dweller. Yeah. And that's going to go on later this summer. I'm super stoked for that. I know we're having a couple motorcycle trips coming up. My older brother just hit me up the other day saying that he wants to go down to Texas and do a couple of rides there. So who knows? We might be getting some wheelies on the videos this year again. Even though I sold my bike, I still might get a chance to do some wheelies. Always good in. Whew, it's a nice day.
It's beautiful.
Where are you guys at? Where are you guys posted up at? Let's get this comment chat blowing up a little bit. Tell me where you guys are watching this live stream from in the world, in the United States, in Canada. That's separate. We are at the Hole in the Rock in Arizona, if you guys are just getting into the live stream right now, which is where we first originally came. When we got to Arizona on our first day, we just pulled up to Arizona, came right to this park, and it's been probably one of our favorite parks since we've been here.
Yeah. My favorite has actually probably been in Kanto Park.
Michigan!
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. Michigan's slick, man. We've been out to Michigan. Actually, we got a little Michigan thing here. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Sunshine Hotel in Ontonagon. How do you say that?
Ontonagon.
Ontonagon, Michigan. Yeah, see, you guys are weird having some weird ass names up in Michigan. But hey, man, that hotel, that was a fresh hotel.
Mm-hmm. It's actually owned by a family.
Not family friends.
Yeah, not family
Personal friends.
Personal friends of ours. They're very cool, very laid back.
Oh my God, this is so bad. There we go.
They're motel/hotel.
And they have camp spots and cabins that you could rent. And if you guys just have your tents, you guys can pull up there.
Right next to the lake. That's super nice.
And the best part is they allow smoking. So if you guys are smokers, they have a big circle fire pit where everyone can go there and publicly smoke. It's pretty cool. So if you guys are stoners, definitely go check that out.
And down the road, there's this mountain. Porcupine Mountain?
Porcupine Mountain.
Porcupine Mountain that you can visit. And that's pretty nice too.
And right across from actually the hotel is the water, the Lake Michigan. So it's really beautiful. It's a very, very cool spot. I definitely check it out if you're out there.
Yep. Hang out with the owners.
Rev is his name. He's a really, really cool guy. I got drunk up there.
Rev and New.
It's a good time up there. I definitely would go back there again. And if we ever go back up to the north, which we plan to either do this summer or next summer, I'm pretty sure next summer, because this summer we have some more southern goals that we want to achieve. But next summer we might go back up to the north, maybe go back up to Wisconsin, and just depends on how the van's running and what we feel like going to do. Because honestly, driving is driving, and it's still long all the time. Yeah. But I love the van.
We want to see more, but there's a pull home. There's always going to be a little bit of a pull home.
I don't think I'll ever live back in Wisconsin, but I'll go back there to visit people, and especially in the summertime when it's really beautiful there.
Hello!
Hello, says Tom Hickory. What's up? How's it going? Welcome to the live stream.
Thanks for joining us.
We've been chilling, talking about randomness. Here's a fun story. When I first moved here, I'm from Wisconsin, if you guys don't know, and we have never seen the desert, MJ and I. No. When we got here, we were pretty unexperienced when it came to seeing all the vegetation and animals and things that we would need to watch out for.
We just walked off the trail not knowing anything about, the
Arizona.
tarantulas, the scorpions, the snakes, maybe even coyotes out in the desert.
We just didn't think about any of that. We were like, you know what, we're going to go hike and we're going to go up this mountain and see the top of that. So when we went out, we were walking around all these cactuses, and we didn't think anything of it at the time. But a couple of days later, I was telling my boss about all these cactuses and things that we saw. And he tells me that thing is called jumping cholla, or jumping cactus, which is a cactus that has a bunch of bristles on it. And if you walk past it, kind of like in Wisconsin, we have these things called what are they called? They stick to you, kind of like burrs.
Thistles, I think.
Thistles,
Burrs,
yeah, they kind of like stick to your clothes, and you just rip them off. Well, these are a much more intense version of that. They stick to you, but they actually stick into your skin like porcupine needles, and you need a comb to comb them off out of your skin, because they stick into you like instantly, and if you try to wipe them off, they'll spread really fast. So,
quick interjection.
She just had her first encounter with this, and it did not feel good.
One day, and at work, I had gotten a bunch of very fine cactus needles in my pinky, and they were all over my hands all of a sudden. I got them in my shoes when we went for a hike, on my pants. It was not a good day for cactuses.
Yeah.
What was that comment?
It was that she's heard of jumping cactus, and they sound super painful, which I haven't had it. She's had it. Was it painful?
Oh, it wasn't jumping cactus. It was just
when you had it stuck in your shoe when we just went hiking.
Oh! Yeah, when I stepped on a little piece, that hurt.
You only had a little bit going to your foot.
No, I almost started crying. It was such a quick, sharp pain, and then it just lasts. And even today when we were walking, this was like a couple days ago that we got we
went on that hike it happened. Yeah.
And just today I was like walking, and I felt like a sharp pain in my shoe, so I might have to actually look at my shoes for more.
Yeah, there might be some fragments because it spreads really, really easy, and it's kind of hard to get it off. But when I first got here and I didn't know what it was, and someone told me about it, I didn't believe that it actually jumped on you. So I went out to the desert when we were in the middle of nowhere, no one was by us, and I picked up a rock. And I looked around, and then there was no one by me, so I just picked up this rock and I threw it on the cactus, and then the cactus just bounced off into a bunch of pieces. And then I picked up another rock and I ran up to one of the little pieces that fell off, and I like looked around again. There was like nobody around me, and I was like, all right. I slammed it down and just to see how hard the bristles would bend when I hit it with the rock. They didn't bend at all. Those things would have gone through my pants, through my legs. It wouldn't have mattered. Those things do not matter. They don't flex. Stay away from jumping Joya.
Honestly, I'd say probably stay away from any cactus.
Yeah, true. They're all pretty sharp. I've done the rock test to a majority of them. I know I look like a caveman.
Everything here is sharp. Everything.
The bushes, the trees, the cactuses, the ground. It's sharp out here.
The animals,
it's sharp.
The animals, the scorpions. Apparently, the baby scorpions are the ones you need to look out for because they don't know how to control their venom. They'll just
continue to sting you.
Yeah.
And just continue until they just feel like stopping. The bigger ones will only sting you once, and it's going to be an amount of venom. But we also found out that scorpions don't kill you, which we didn't know. Mm-hmm. They hurt. It's like a very intense bee sting, almost. And stay away from the smaller they are, the more dangerous they are. That's what we found out. We've also found out that, like, rattlesnakes, you'll actually hear them, not just the rattle, but you'll hear them curl up in things before you even see them. So it's like you'll hear everything about them. So you kind of just keep your ears open when you're walking around. And
at that point, you just want to stay away from them.
For sure. Heck yeah. Arizona has not been too bad, though, honestly, with wildlife and everything.
We haven't even seen a scorpion, a snake, a tarantula. We haven't seen any of that here.
I swear I felt a tarantula run past my foot one night when we were hiking, but I didn't second guess myself. I didn't want to be like, oh, this is a teen movie, let's go investigate. I was just like, no, if it was a tarantula, let that thing do its own thing. I'm going to get back to my van. Like, I don't care about it was a huge and just went across my foot super fast, and I was like, no. Like, hell no. But,
yeah, what other, we
haven't seen elk or anything like that yet, and we went up super far north where we thought we would see some elk. It was even really cold and there was snow. We still didn't see any elk, and that is what we've been really looking for. Road runners. We saw a couple of muskrats, a hare, which is a really large rabbit, and it's very noticeably larger than a normal rabbit. It's huge. Definitely big. We haven't seen any like mountain lions or goats or anything like that yet. We've seen wild cows, which is pretty cool. We almost hit a couple cows in our car because there's signs that just say watch for cows, and then there's these ginormous wild cows that just cross the street and take forever. But so far a lot of like camping, a lot of snowbirds come out here in this wintertime, so it's honestly very full of people that are just adventuring and doing the same thing that we're kind of doing, which is really cool. You get a chance to meet a lot of people.
Yeah, not too long ago, we've got little snippets of all this.
We're behind on our videos.
Yeah.
We know, but again, it was because we couldn't afford Adobe Premiere, but now we just got it back, and tomorrow should be some more videos coming up.
Yeah, but we just met this guy not too long ago. He was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He played ukulele. He did this thing. If you've ever heard of slacking, it's basically this giant ratchet strap between two trees that you walk across like a tightrope. But he does that like across canyons and stuff.
And like cliffs, and this guy was just a huge adventurer.
He played ukulele, and it's just really nice to meet other people like that.
He was a vanner. You didn't even mention. Yeah, he was a vanner. We met him at Walmart. We just pulled up next to his van, and he was building on his van outside in the parking lot, and which is usually the things that we do. So. And
his van was so cool. It was. What was it again? A 1980?
Like 83? Yeah, 83 or 86. Old. Super old, like Chevy van, but
really
he had
good condition though.
Super nice condition, and it was his grandpa's van that he got hand-me down to him, which is like the coolest story for a van because that means that it was actually this van was rolling around in the 80s and things like that's awesome that it's still around now to his grandson having the same hippie experiences that he had, which is just awesome. The guy was a really humble guy. We actually ended up having him in our van for dinner, and we haven't had anyone over for dinner so far since we built the van. So that was super exciting to finally like break in, inviting people over.
Oh, yeah.
And it was cool. We just met him in a parking lot, and the guy was instantly just our friend. That's awesome. Random strangers, but they sometimes are. So be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful who you talk to. Every vanner we've seen either, because there's a difference between nomads and living this lifestyle and then tweakers living in their van because they're homeless. Like there's a little bit of a difference between us and them. So you got to be careful with which banners you approach.
That, and you just have to also kind of respect what other banners might want. They may not be as open and want people to come look in their van and everything, so you have to respect their boundaries and what they.
And you don't understand like where they're coming from, because like some of these vanners are elder people, some of them are retired and they don't want to be bothered. Some of them are retired veterans that have PTSD and they really can't be bothered. Like you don't want to go around them. It could actually be dangerous. And I think that's what we stumbled upon in our first week here when we were in the desert, and that guy was with his dog and he was a little psychotic and a little out there.
Possibly a little paranoid from past experience.
I think it's PTSD, and I think it's because he's out there now living in his camper all alone. You know, he wanted to be away from everyone, where people with that kind of a disease can still be really happy. And we got to respect that ourselves. We're not all out here just being hippies, trying to be young youth people seeking the truth, you know?
Actually, okay, must-have items for van life. In the process of building my van and getting rid of stuff, we'll be going first. Okay.
First, well, congratulations first on the big jump to go living in a van and full-time doing it. That is awesome. Congratulations. That's a privilege all on its own. I'm gonna read who this came from. Zombified.
Nice. Must things to have in the van.
Well, it all goes off a budget. I know that's a big thing. Sorry. Here we go. It's all off a budget. It goes off of, we have a lot of money. When we built our van, our must-have things were heater, because we knew we were going to be going into cold climates.
Ventilation. That one is, it's not really about what you have to afford.
Ventilation you need it.
Yeah.
If you're ever going to be running propane or any kind of things that run gas inside of your van, you'll need to have at least 7 inches of ventilation at a time when you're running propane. So ventilation is the most important thing of your van build for sure. Yeah. We got this fan for about $130. It has 3 speeds. It goes in and out, so it works really well for cooking. Right now we run it off of our van's power though, so we have to have our van running while we're using it.
We don't have a max air fan and buddy heater on deck. Good.
Max air fan is the way to go. That's definitely the better one than the model we have. That's the one that you can actually use in like the rain and everything like that. So great job on that choice. Mm-hmm. And Mr. Buddy heater, right? That's what they.
Yep.
That's what we have. We actually have the Mr. Buddy heater, just the regular medium-sized one, not the 1 burner, but the larger squared one. And then they make the largest squared one. But we just have the medium one. It was about $100. It runs really well, but keep in mind that does create a lot of moisture. That was not what we thought when we bought it, but you will have condensation from the inside of your vehicle. So say if you're in negative temperatures, propane does still freeze. Even though it's a cold gas when it's being used, it still freezes. So if it gets to be 20 degrees or lower in the places you're living in, keep in mind that the buddy heater still might freeze. You would want to go for like a Chinese diesel heater or something like that. That's going to not freeze and malfunction in the cold temperatures. But the moisture goes on the inside. It'll create a layer of frost on the inside of your van, so you'll have to like chisel away all the frost from the inside when you're trying to drive away in the morning. So keep that all in mind, that the buddy heater is a great option because it's very cheap and it works. It's cheap and it works, and it's dependable, it's durable, you can drop it, it's still going to work. That's why we liked it, but it isn't the best heating option when it comes to van life either. I would say I've seen a lot of researchers, or I've done a lot of research and seen a lot of people purchase diesel heaters, whether it be the off-brand Chinese one or the name brand one. I hear that those work really the best because they have a thermostat that you can actually adjust in your van, so you can keep it to whatever temperature you would like, and it runs off of its own little gas tank. So you can have it running while you're not in the van. I don't know if I would, but you can, which is really cool. What kind of van did you get, actually, Zombified? Because it all depends on the van you got, too. For necessities, if you have a lot of space, you might want to spend more on the actual build itself. And if you have less space, you might want to spend more on the actual, like, electronics and things that you can put into your build, like solar panels right away, because you didn't spend $2,000 on just plywood and framework.
If you don't have power, though, one thing I absolutely love is we have a little solar power box here.
It's just it's about $60 to $80 on Amazon, and it's just a flip over solar panel that has 2 USB outlets and a flashlight. You guys may have heard of it. It's kind of like a power bank. It works pretty well. And 05 Ecoline, which is Ford, 110 lightweight build. Awesome. That means it's low top like ours. Awesome. Congratulations. I'm super stoked for you to be on the road and enjoying the same adventures that Yeti and MJ get to enjoy as well.
So here's our solar battery. It has 4 little panels that just kind of fold in and snap shut. It's got a little flashlight on the back, and then over here it'll tell you when it's charging, if it's charged. The only thing, see, this says it's dead. The only thing I will say with this is do not leave it in the sun for over
a couple hours.
Yeah,
I would honestly say, because we overcharged it.
Yep. We left it out in the sun all day, and now it charges, but it doesn't hold the charge.
It will only charge if you still leave it directly in the sunlight.
Yep, and it has to be direct sunlight. So that's just something to be aware of.
When purchasing the cheaper ones, you can overcharge them super easily.
Yeah.
So like we just said earlier in this live stream, we just purchased something called the Jackery 240, which is made by Jackery. It's a 240 watt power bank that you can charge either shore power at your like a normal plug-in like your house or at a gas station or whatever it might be, or you can charge it in your vehicle's cigarette outlet while you're driving the vehicle around.
There's also solar panels that you can buy with it, but they're
that are like Jackery made, but they're about another $200. So if you want to go that route, that you can just have a full flip out solar system and kit for your power, and you don't want to have it permanently mounted on your roof or whatever it might be, other options that you were looking into, Jackery is a really good way to go. They have a lot of options they have a 500 watt option, they have a 1000 watt option. So I don't know how many watts you guys think you'll use on a day-to-day basis. We do not use that much, and Jackery will do pretty well.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, thanks for checking in. We just had somebody say that they were leaving. Tom, thanks for checking in. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for everyone for stopping into this live stream. This has actually been a pretty great turnout, and we've been almost on for an entire hour, which is really, really cool, man. Thank you. Thanks everybody for coming and checking us out and listening to us blabber on about our van life.
It's really nice to, be able to connect and talk to other people about what we're doing.
Answer any real questions real time that people might have when we live in our van, where we shower, where we go to the bathroom, where we sit all day.
Who knows? We might even get questions that are brought up that we haven't thought about, and we're like, ooh, that's maybe something we should think about. So it's really a
learning experience.
Yeah, a back and forth learning experience.
Yeah, I can definitely see that too. And I've met people now that have just told me things that I would never have known about van life. And I'm super excited for what else people have to come up with, because you can meet the average person and they may know nothing about living in a van or living on the road, but they might tell you the most useful piece of information ever that you're like, how did I not think of that? How has no one thought of that? Like, it's definitely cool. Just communication, like that goes a long way in the van life world, when you're willing to just put yourself out there and not necessarily care about what people think of you. I think that's really awesome, and I think that helps with our content as well. We're able to vlog in plain public in front of everyone, and as soon as you pull out your phone, I'm sure you guys have witnessed pulling out your phone and filming places, people watch you. They instantly want to know what you're doing while you're filming, and who you are and what you're driving and everything about you when you start to film. So we take that into account, and we still try to push out a positive message for all of our viewers that are watching, but we also want to stress that we put time, money, and energy into these videos too, so we want to be ourselves, and we never want to change. It's getting slowly but surely getting later and later here, and people are just starting to leave. I could probably show you guys the hole in the rock, because I know that's what a lot of people want to know what it looks like. So that right there is the hole in the rock, with all those people in there climbing. It's a very, very beautiful day. I think it's probably around 70 degrees or so. It was a good 70-degree day all day. And we had strawberries and grapes and bananas for lunch. We had breakfast at Denny's because we did not want to cook in the cold where we were. So we spoiled ourselves to some Denny's and ate way too much. Right, MJ?
Yep.
What are you thinking? Any other tidbits we can add on to here?
If you enjoyed talking with us, if you want to keep up with our adventures, if you have any questions, make sure to comment, follow,
Yeah,
subscribe.
click the subscribe button. Like, I hope that if you guys are watching this, you've already subscribed. But if you haven't, definitely go and do so, because there's a lot of things coming. We're not just living in Arizona. We're going to be traveling the United States. So Arizona is just our, I think, second stop on the way.
Yeah.
Because we stopped in Colorado first, which, if you guys haven't seen those videos, they're on our channel. Definitely go check those out. Ahab has had enough of the live stream. He is over there already sleeping. He says, I'm tired. You guys are talking too much. I'm going to bed. We have to start getting our window blinds set in and start getting on the way to our boondocking spot of the night to Stealth Park. We're thinking the good old-fashioned Camp Wally, which should be pretty interesting because usually it's super loud around like 2 or 3 a.m. when you're like, why is anyone here?
You hear a lot of leaf blowers that early.
Yeah, that's true. Well, thank you so much for coming in for the live stream. I hope that you have a great rest of your day and continue to watch our van ventures. That goes with everyone. I think we're going to end off this live stream here. Thank you guys so much for being the ones to come check us out and enjoy this live questionnaire Q&A with us and take your time out of your day.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok as well. The Adventures Yeti and MJ. We'll be posting more on that, more pictures, little videos, just to keep up more day to day, which has, not been good.
If you guys want to see our stories or anything else, Yeti for Real on Instagram. I post every single day about our van and every single day about everything else. So definitely go check out that. If you guys want to see some rap music and things, I make music as well. That's all on there. Well, Yeti for Real or The Adventures of Yeti and MJ. See you guys later. Thanks for checking us out. Have a good rest of your night.
Bye.